Today, we present to you a compilation of Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures titled Save Our Planet, Eliminate the Production of Meat.
Sometimes people say that the meat industry, being so powerful as it is, they can lobby anything, lobby government, lobby Congress, lobby Parliament even, to support their business. To them, it's just business. But to the people, to the consumers, it's life and death. It's suffering or happiness. It's intelligence or dull-wittedness. It's not a business. A business should be providing to the people what they need to benefit them. And then, meanwhile, benefit yourself as well. That should be a good business. A business is not to give people poison either ignorantly or purposely to cause them harm, sickness, suffering, agony in any kind, just to profit ourselves. That is not a proper business. For a Christian, for a Muslim, for a Buddhist, for a Jain, for a Sikh, none of us, none of these people should do any of this kind of business. Business to kill people, business to harm people, business to kill the innocent animals, they are no good business. They are contrary to God's will, and thus we should avoid. Yes. I told you, meat industry very powerful. They can buy the government, lobby the parliament, bypass Congress. What do you think? Why there's so many advertisements about meat and milk everywhere? Even I didn't know that milk was harmful to human health until recently that we do research. And when we had mad cow disease in those times even, they even say, oh, milk has nothing to do with mad cow disease. Milk is safe. And people believe it. How? How can you take something safe from something sick? And mad cow disease is not curable even. It's deadly. It's fatal every time. So how many more people we want to die for this piece of meat that we put in our mouth? How many children we want to kill for that piece of meat that we put in our mouth that we could even change for tofu or, gluten or any other things and still stay healthy, happy, and better even? Do you understand? This is a question we should ask ourselves. No plan B. No, never. Now that we know the truth, we just speak it out. No plan B, no compromise. Whatever we say, if it concerns to people's life, children's health, families' happiness, we have to do it wholeheartedly. Some young people die now, young people even die from flu. Imagine how their parents suffer. Imagine how their sister, brother suffer. Some pregnant women die with full of hope in them. Hope for the child to be born in their family, to bring happiness to her husband, to the parents, to grandmother, father. Just die like that. Flu, swine flu. For the piece of meat that we want to put in our mouth, which is filthy, poisonous, bloody, inhumane. So there's no plan B. Is there?
No.
Okay.
Hello, Master.
Hello. Mr. Sanpipat.
ปัญหาภาวะโลกร้อนควรเป็นวาระแห่งชาติหรือไม่และถ้าควรจะเป็นเราจะต้องดำเนินการอย่างไรครับ
First of all, and foremost of all, we should use government system to encourage new projects, like new level of citizen cooperation. Namely, we must let people know it's urgent now and it's time to stop global crisis. Time is short and we must all act as one to save our world from disappearing, to save our lives and all the lives on the planet. Everything else takes too long. I have told everybody many times, technology takes too long. Even if it helps, it takes so long. So the fastest and easiest way is to stop animal products and to stop consumption of it. Then we will have more time to develop better technology and scientific advancements. If we stop livestock raising and cruel practice on human and animals, the result will be miracle. The result will be almost immediately, within few weeks. If everybody stop eating meat right now, 8 weeks' time, the weather will change into a benevolent one, immediately changing. Everything that has been damaged will be returned to normal in 8 weeks' time. If everybody on the planet stop eating meat and turn into compassionate heart, then the result will be immediately. It's just like we want to go south, but we are heading north. So the only way to see the south is to turn to the opposite direction and head south. So the way we are doing right now, we are killing animals, killing humans. It's not benevolent. It's not respecting lives. It's wrong. So if we want the opposite effect for ourselves, for our life, we have to do the opposite. That is very simple and logical. And everyone understands that. Thank you so much. In September 2008, Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, head of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, he's the one who got Nobel Peace Prize together with Vice President Al Gore and others. He stated that scientists had called to tell him that the emissions from livestock were much higher than previously estimated. You see, before they said it was 18%. In the Livestock Long Shadow Report, 2006. But now the emissions from animal farming are actually higher than that. As far as how much higher, they are not still very sure. But Dr. Colin Campbell, the bestseller of nutritional biochemist book, he said that his colleagues at the World Bank found that 50% plus of total greenhouse gas emissions right now are coming from livestock raising. And that is not even the sure percentage yet, you see. And Dr. Campbell revealed that this information is not yet the highest that they have estimated, that they have researched. They think would be more, okay. And he has revealed this information to us in an interview with the Supreme Master Television. Right now, the climate scientists are telling us more and more that if we reduce livestock industry, we reduce methane. And that is the most immediate way to cool the planet, because CO2 from fossil fuel may take tens of thousands of years, you see, to leave the atmosphere and cool the planet, according to the research. But methane is 23 times more potent, hotter than CO2, and they dissipate average over 10 years or 20 years. So the latest report from IPCC scientist Dr. Kirk Smith in USA said that methane is a much hotter gas than currently reported, yes. He said that it could be 60 to 100 times hotter than CO2, average over 20 years. So methane goes out in the atmosphere in 9 to 15 years, disappear, compared to up to thousands of years for CO2. So if methane is reduced, the warming will be reduced immediately. You understand the logic, yes? Because CO2 stay longer in the atmosphere, but methane go and disappear quick. So the way we reduce the methane is by reducing animal agriculture. If we ban meat, ban livestock raising, then the methane gas will be cut, for up to date, at least 50%. Can you imagine? It's a very big chunk. And then the planet will be cool immediately. Compared to CO2, it takes 10,000 of years to cool off. Right now, the most problem gas that hit the planet is methane. You see, because it's a lot of them. According to the scientists, it's already 50%. That they say more than 50% even, you see? So if we stop methane, meaning stop the animal rising, then we stop 50%. They say just 50%, at least 50%.
En México se ha dado la noticia de que se han encontrado nuevos yacimientos, nuevos y ricos yacimientos de petróleo. Esto convertiría a México en la tercera potencia mundial de petróleo. ¿Qué podemos hacer para detener esta contaminación del petróleo que está destruyendo nuestro planeta?
Dr. Kano, oil is not the worst. So, although we don't want oil to continue, we can have oil even. We can have oil if that helps the Mexican to become more prosperous and self-dependent, self-sustained. Because oil is not the worst thing. Oil is not the only thing, and it's not the worst thing that damage our planet. It is the livestock industry. It's actually the most polluting, the most disease-producing, the most energy-consuming, and the most greenhouse gas-emitting industries that exist. The United Nations report called Livestock Long Shadow states that the farm animal industry emits more greenhouse gases than all the transportation on Earth combined. And according to the Nobel Prize-winning Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, chairman of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, who himself is a vegetarian, he said meat production is extremely carbon-intensive. This is partly because of the pollution cycles, including refrigeration, transportation, etc., not to mention destroying the forest for grazing land, for pasture land, and all the costs or the carbon emitting from disease causing and curing, etc., etc. That's why I said, just leave the meat alone and we have everything else.